Right, okay folks, welcome to Friday Waffle. Yeah, you can see it's a bit snowy. Aye, it's been, we got a bit of snow through my way. I think it was New Year's Eve, and it's just been so cold that there's been no frost. So I've just I've just literally dropped the dogs off at my sister's. I'm actually away on holiday. I'm going to Spain tomorrow morning. So yeah, before I start, apologies. I didn't manage to. I kind of half recorded a number of videos last night, and then I was going to do the voiceover part this morning, and the bloody the headphones that I was using just wasn't working, and I was running out of time. So if I get a chance tonight, I'm actually we're actually staying at Lee's son's house tonight in Edinburgh. If I get a chance tonight, I might try and get it done. So this little bit might not be relevant. I might get some videos out. I've got a couple of videos for you to watch anyway. Obviously this Friday Waffle has been recorded on Tuesday. Excuse me. No, Wednesday even, I should say. So yeah, that's where I am. Apparently it's not to be, I think it's about 20 degrees temperature wise, which isn't bad considering what it is at the moment. I mean, it's -1. Hopefully I can get out of this. This is a terrible junction. Where am I going here? I've got to turn right and then turn left. Right, come on, go. I don't know what you guys think, but there is just so much more traffic on the roads these days. It's absolutely horrendous. Right, he's going that way. I can get out. There we go. That's a red light. Now, anyone that lives in Scotland, see if you can guess where we are. Well, there's a signpost up there that might give you an indication of where we are. There's a Turkish barber. You ever notice that vape shops, bookies and Turkish barbers and Thai massage places, they seem to be the main kind of shops that are in at the moment. Just talking about that, I heard yesterday actually, the pub that me and my mates used to go to from pretty much when we were, I was going to say 17. I never actually started drinking until I was legal age, so I was 18. The pub that we used to go to when we were 18, you know, in the heyday when we had computers, when Rick Astley was in the charts, was called the Paraffin Lamp. It's been there since 1975, and I just heard that it's actually it's closed down. They got taken over last week, and the new owners have just shut it down. So again, it'll probably turn into some either a restaurant or something, but sad. And it kind of got me thinking, you know what, the way we're going with shops, I can't remember, somebody was talking about it, was it Del Boy, I can't remember, somebody was talking about how the high street is virtually deserted, you know, because of online shops. And I'm just as guilty as anybody else. You know, I want to buy something, I go to Amazon for a number of reasons. The simplicity, I can order a 75-inch TV at 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm in my bed. They deliver. There's no faff when it comes to taking things back, and it's cheaper. And you know what, until high street shops are able to compete with that, which they're not going to be able to, because they need to employ staff to actually serve and all that, people are going to continue to buy online. And I think we're seeing, well, we're not seeing a decline, we are already in a massive decline of shops and what have you. I think it's only going to get worse, and I think we could see in 10 years time there is just not going to be any shops. You know, I think you'll still have your corner shops and maybe your little Tesco Express Co-ops. Look at the snow, you know what I mean? It is pretty, not very nice to drive on. Now I've got a BMW, and fortunately, I think it's 4-wheel drive, which makes it grip, because I know that BMWs are notoriously awful for snow. So yeah, it's no good. I mean, there's times where I go in a shop and I go to buy something, I'm like, what? I can get that, you know, £2 cheaper on Amazon. And then I think to myself, well, wait a minute, let's support the local shops. I do from time to time try and support local shops. I don't do it often enough, because right now we're just getting fleeced by the government, money left, right and centre. It's awful, it really is. So we're trying to save, you know, the average person's trying to save money as and when they can. If it means buying something from Amazon, they're saving petrol, they're getting it cheaper. You know what, we're going to end up destroying society. But anyway, beards. Yeah, beards. I have a beard. I've grown a beard. I started growing it in 2019. Listen to me. I started growing it in 2017, and I like my beard. I do like my beard. I've become very used to it. I think it gives me a bit of character, because I choose. Now, I'm not bald. People say, oh, you're bald. I'm not bald. I choose to cut my hair. I choose to shave my head. So there is a difference. I am bald by choice. Bald means you don't have any hair. I do have hair, it's just extremely short. So let me get that crystal clear. But yeah, I've had a beard since 2017. I like it. It gives me, you know, a feature. And as we know, beards have never been as popular. Everybody's got beards. Even women have got beards. No, I mean seriously, beards have just become beards and tattoos. You look at the young team, you know, they've all got beards. It's just what they have. And somebody said something to me. I don't remember where it was. Somebody made a comment. It might have been on Twitter or something that I saw it. See if this is defrosted yet. Oh, we've got a tiny wee bit of water. Not much. That's better than nothing. Somebody made a comment and said, when guys that have beards eventually shave them off, yep, that's great, mate. You cross the road just as bless them. Yeah, guys that have had beards for like 7-8 years, who've been dating a girl, and the girl is only used to that guy having a beard. See, when that guy eventually, when beards become no longer fashionable, and this is the thing, it might sound ridiculous, but you know, up till about 10 years ago, beards weren't really, I don't think beards were ever really fashionable. I mean, maybe in the 70s, moustaches were fashionable. I mean, they're kind of making a comeback, but honestly, you see some of the young guys, 20-year-olds with these stupid moustaches, they look like the inspector guy out of on the buses. It looks ridiculous. One of my mate's sons got one, and it just looks stupid. But yeah, moustaches and beards were probably, yeah, they were probably a wee bit popular in the 70s. But in the 80s, no, nobody had beards. The only people that had beards were guys that have always had beards. You know, I mean, you had almost like your homeless people who probably had beards, but there's always guys who climbed Munros and went for rambles in the countryside. They had beards, but the majority of people didn't have beards. And then about 10 years ago, I don't know who sets the fashion. I mean, Conor McGregor, dare I say, did he set the fashion for beards? David Beckham, did David Beckham ever have a beard? I don't think he did. But yeah, so beards have been fashionable for 10 years. But there is going to get to a point, because that's what happens with fashion, it ebbs and flows. So what is extremely popular now, in 10 years time, is going to look ridiculous. So guys are eventually going to shave their beards off, and that's going to reveal one thing. It's going to reveal those guys that don't have chins. Unfortunately, I've not got a square jaw, but I do actually have a jawline, you know. There's a lot of people, guys, they call it the weak chin, where their neck just kind of blends into their head, into their jaw. They don't have a proper neck. It's a weird thing. But yeah, when the time comes for beards to no longer be popular, and these guys shave their beards off, you're going to get girlfriends going, Christ, he's ugly. He is extremely ugly. Now, to be fair, that goes for me, because all the time that I've been seeing Lee, she has always known me to have a beard. And there's been a couple of times where I've been trying to trim my beard and I've made a bit of an arse of it. I've trimmed it too short and I've just shaved the beard off, and she's like, oh my god, you need to shave it back on, you need to grow it back. And I'm like, I'm not that bad, am I? No, but I prefer you with the beard. So yeah, there's going to be lots of people out there that are going to be extremely disappointed. They're going to think, my god, my partner is extremely ugly because he doesn't have a jawline. So just think about that, guys. To anybody that's had a beard, just think about it. How long have you been dating your girlfriend? Have you always had a beard? You might want to start getting her used to the idea that you may not have a beard all the time. There you go, you've heard it here. What else was I talking about? I've mentioned lack of videos. Yeah, I bought I mentioned on my Facebook there's a little console called the Playdate. It's not what you think, it's not one of these lads mags. It's called the Playdate. It's a small little well, yeah, we can call it a games console, because that's exactly what it is. A small games console. It's got a monochrome screen like a Game Boy, and I don't know why they would do this, but it doesn't have a backlight. There's no backlight. But what makes it novel is it's got a little crank at the side, on the right hand side of it. It's got this little crank that you turn, and I think it's like an analog type controller, and it makes for all kind of interesting games. So yeah, you've got things like, you can imagine a fishing game. You turn the rod, you turn the little crank, and that little thing with the fishing rod in and out. Anyway, I don't know why, but I got a bit of hankering to buy one. I'm one of these people, I see something or I hear about something and I'm like, oh, I really want one of these. So, excuse me. So I went online, and yeah, they're daft expensive. You're talking about 250 quid to buy one. I think there's only, they're available purely online, because my daughter was in Japan just before Christmas, and she'd asked me, oh, is there anything you want me to get you? And I says, well, listen, if you see one of these play dates, can you buy it and I'll give you the money? But when she got there, she said, look, they don't sell them in shops, it's online only. So anyway, I thought, right, I'm not going to buy one for there. So I went on to our favourite Chinese knockoff place, AliExpress, and lo and behold, there's quite a few of them for sale. So I ordered one. It was £92 plus shipping. It came at £110. So I thought, well, it looks good. It had a couple of decent reviews, looks really nice. So I ordered it probably 2 weeks before Christmas. And like everybody that's waiting on something from AliExpress, you're eagerly tracking the parcel, seeing where it is. So I was watching for it, and you know, it's very, very slow. Anyway, just about a week ago, I got a message to say it had arrived in the UK, or sorry, it had arrived at the local facility. That's the word they use. And I thought, excellent. Then a couple of days later, I get an envelope came through the letterbox, and in it was a piece of paper from AliExpress saying that you're probably wondering what this is. Don't worry, it's just to let you know that the parcel that you have ordered, we cannot deliver locally. Therefore, you need to go onto your website and say that it's no longer required and you want a refund. Now, a couple of things. Why did it take them 2 weeks to tell me that? Why couldn't they have just let me know? They could have quite easily let me know and says, oh, by the way, we can't ship this to you. Instead of posting a piece of paper from China all the way to Scotland to tell me that they can't give me what I've ordered and to apply for a refund. So I went in and I applied for the refund, and then I noticed there was an option to contact the seller. So I thought, you know, I'm a bit concerned that I'm not going to get my money back. So I contacted the seller, and I noticed there was a message from the seller that they'd sent it to me maybe about 2 weeks earlier, and it said, do you know you have only ordered the case for the console? You've not ordered the console, you've just ordered the case. So I went back into the advert, and it quite clearly says Playdate, yellow Playdate, blah 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 blah, you know, 2.5 inch screen, la 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 la. But the photograph is of a cover, and then next to it there's thumbnails of the console. So when you can see the cover, it's £110. When I click on the console, it's 370 quid. Like, what? So anyway, I contacted them back, and it says, I can't actually believe that, it's very misleading. I can't believe that £110 will buy me a case, a little case for a tiny little console. I had a look at a few other play dates on AliExpress, and the range, honestly, they're all the same. They've all got, you think you're buying the console, but you're not, you're getting the case. And honestly, the prices of these things went from like 350 quid, and there was even a couple at 500 quid. Now these are knockoff, these are not genuine. How the fuck can that work? How can that be? So you know what, it's just word of caution, guys. Be very, 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 very careful when you buy from any of these places, because you might think you're getting a bargain, and you're actually not. You're not actually getting what. It's not even so much you're not getting a bargain. You're not even getting the thing that you ordered. And one of my mates who buys from AliExpress all the time, I told him, and he's like, "Oh, here's one for 90 quid." And then I looked at it and I went, "No, that's for the case. Have a look at the thumbnail next to it. That's 500 quid." And he went, "Holy shit." So yeah, there you go, guys. That was my experience with buying from AliExpress. Now, to be fair, I have to say this, I have got the refund. The refund came through after about 3 days, so at least that's one thing. But if they had, I can just imagine if they had shipped what I had ordered, not realising I'd ordered the case. Can you imagine how you'd feel when you eventually get the parcel and you open it up and you get this little case? You don't even get what you've ordered. So whilst it's extremely misleading on their part, you know, really, really bad, at least I suppose they said, by the way, you do know that you've ordered the case. But then why didn't they just ship the case to me? I don't know why they did that. Why did they not ship the case to me? Yeah, I'm glad they didn't, because if they'd shipped the case to me, I would have been faced with either trying to get them to return it, and they would probably dispute it and say, no, that's what you ordered, tough, or else I would be stuck with a £110 case. So word of warning, folks. Adverts on YouTube. Yeah, for the last, as anybody that watches my channel on a sort of fairly regular basis, you'll do know that I do monetize my channel. I don't do Patreon at all. I have Super Chat, but you know, that very rarely gets used. I never ever advertise the fact. I never ask for it, whatever. But I do monetize my channel, which means there are some annoying adverts that will appear at the start, maybe end of my videos, so it doesn't matter if it comes at the end, because you can just stop the video. But for the last, I make, it's about, on average, about maybe £6 to £10. Very rarely do I hit £10. It's usually under £10 a month, depending on what videos I've put out. That's what I get from ad revenue, which is bugger all. And you've got to wait. When you get the ad revenue, you don't instantly get it. It's got to accrue to, I think you can set the limit. I think the minimum is £60. You've got to wait and it getting to £60, and then you will get you'll get the money from Google. Now, the last payment I got was back in March last year. It was like 60. I think it was £60 something. And I've been checking been checking the money over the last 3-4 months, and it's like, why has that never moved? It's been sitting at like £59.60 for about 3-4 months. So I'd contacted Google. Now, to be fair, I did mention this actually, despite Google being a completely free service, and there's a lot of bad press about Google and YouTube saying unless you're a big massive YouTuber you don't get any help. Well, I've got to say to the contrary, they've been very helpful. There's a chat, you can chat online with them, and they've been very, very helpful to me. It's been really good. But anyway, I contacted them about 3 weeks ago, and they said, oh, we've checked everything, all your settings are correct, there's or it's working as it should be. So they said, yeah, you should get money soon, and nothing's happened. So I went back on a couple of days ago, and they've checked it, and what they've explained to me is, when you get the money that you accrue, say we'll say in November, any money you get between the 1st and 30th of November, you've got to then wait, I think it's the 7th to the 12th of the following month, that money will then move across into your, it's called AdSense. It's an account thing that Google use. It goes into this thing called AdSense. So you've got to wait for like 2 weeks for it to move over. So they've explained it. It says everything's working absolutely fine. But you know what? It kind of I just thought, fucking hell, you know, the money I make is shit, and I'm not in it for the money. That is not the reason. I know some people, and I guarantee this video will get a lot of people saying, oh, you're a fucking arsehole meme meister, blah blah blah, you say you're not in it for the money, yet you're doing it for the money. It's a bit like Luke Littler winning darts. He just won $500,000. He's not doing it for the money. Of course he's going to take the money. The money is a nice byproduct or side product, whatever you want to call it, of the hobby. I'm in this to make videos, to have fun, talk to friends, make content, whatever, play games. I'm not in it for the money, but the little bit of income that I do get from Google, it helps to pay my subscription for my podcast. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to change it, because I normally have adverts at the start of my videos. Now what I've done is I've enabled it so that you will get some adverts coming through mid-video. Now I know myself, some of these are non-skippable, they can be a complete pain in the arse. What I've said to my regulars, and I'm shooting myself in the foot here, put an ad blocker on. Put an ad blocker on so that you'll not get the adverts. But what that's hopefully going to mean is people who don't subscribe to my channel, just people that happen to watch a video for 5 minutes, whatever, yeah, they're going to get adverts. But you know what? There's tons of channels that have that. So I don't have any issues with doing that. But what I have said, what I've asked people is, if you can let me know over the next 2-3 weeks how your experience is on my channel with adverts being enabled. You know, if you say to me, you know what, I'm unable to use an ad blocker, your channel has become unwatchable. You know, if it reaches that stage where it's going to stop people want to watch my videos, then I would probably get rid of them. Well, at least I would I'd go back to what I'm doing at the moment. But I want to test it. If it's manageable and you guys can put up with it, I'm not going to change just because one person says, oh, I don't like what you're doing, you know, tough. But if it's manageable, it's not too much a pain in the arse, and it helps me get a wee bit more money in to help cover costs, because right now, this is what I get on YouTube doesn't cover what I pay per month. So if I can get an extra, you know, tenner a month, if that can put up to £20 a month, I don't know, I've no idea. This is all new to me. If any of my chums, like Lawn Boy's posts, I know he monetises his channel, let me know. Yeah, so you are going to see more adverts on my videos, guys, but please let me know. I want you to be genuine, tell me what you think. You know, are the adverts a complete pain in the arse? You know, you can download, I think, Firefox, and is it uBlock? Firefox browser with uBlock, and that kills all adverts, but I think there's other ways of doing it anyway. So yeah, right, I think that is it. Now, Colin Jones, I've got one question here. What are your views on cheap, what's that? IoT devices that are prevalent today, home automation things, often from China. Right, home automation. I'm not 100% sure what you're meaning, Colin. Do you mean like having CCTV and all that kind of stuff? I'm not really overly sure what you're talking about there. If it comes to gadgets, I love a gadget. Who doesn't? Unless they're from AliExpress. I mean, I bought myself a couple of weeks ago. I've got 2 dogs, as you probably know. Dogs do smell. Fact. Doesn't matter how clean you are, dogs smell. End of. I bought myself a second-hand air purifier. It's a Shark air purifier, and yeah, it seems to work. I don't have it running all the time. I mean, it filters out all the shite in the air. And I must admit, I've got it in my living room, and in the morning when I come down, the dogs sleep in the living room, they sleep in the settee. There's usually a bit of dog smell in the morning, which isn't massively pleasant. So what I do is I just put the what do you call it, the purifier thing on for half an hour, and by then the air's nice and clean. It's what a big difference. Really, really good. So I bought that for myself. What else? Can't think of much, Colin. Nah, sorry, mate. You know what to do, Colin? If you can explain exactly what an IoT is, don't know what that is. I'll endeavour to answer it again. Right, we've got one here from Milthy Swinbuckle. Good evening, Milthy. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well, mate. Right, I know it's been a while. Like most everyone else who's asked questions for the waffle, I've asked you pretty much everything over the years. Hang on a wee second to concentrate. Only my questions became embarrassingly daft as I ran out of good questions to ask, which is why it's taken ages to ask another. Do you think there will be a time where video game sports will not overtake, let's keep some form of reality, challenge real life sports they're mimicking, or at least get fairly close to the numbers of viewers that big viewers have? I think, now it's not a thing that I'm a fan of, but whilst sports games like, you know, football and all that become increasingly realistic, then yeah, I think we're going to see that. Not even just football games, but you know, when we get closer and closer to, like, it's going to be difficult to tell the difference between a video game and a real life. Interestingly, I saw a little video on, I think it was in TikTok, I don't know what it was on social media, and I had my phone in portrait, so the video was like very small, it was like a thumbnail, and somebody goes, oh, the greatest comeback ever, and it was a game of football, and at first I thought it was real football. Obviously the screen was like very small, and I was watching it, but you know, that way you can still tell, even without zooming in, you can still tell that it's not real. Just, I don't know what it is, it's just the animation, the fluidity or lack of fluidity, I don't know, it's a weird one. But you watch a game of FIFA or whatever it's called nowadays, you watch that, make it quite small and look at it, you can still tell that it's not real. I don't know what it is. We're getting there, we're definitely getting there, because one of the things that, like, there's a video on YouTube of a guy, it's a real life guy in New York or somewhere, and he's pretending he's like in Grand Theft Auto. You know, he runs into walls and falls over and all that kind of stuff. And you know, when you look at something like Grand Theft Auto, the way the guy walks, it doesn't look real. It looks quite realistic, but you know it's not. You know it's animation. More recent games, things like what do you call it, like The Last of Us 2, I don't play many kind of modern games, but like The Last of Us 2, the animation is getting there. It's kind of sped up. I always find that computer game animation is a bit slower than real life. I was going to say real life animation, real life movement. But we are getting there. But I think when we do get to that point where it becomes very, very difficult to distinguish between real life and computer games, then absolutely, because whilst it's playing a game of football on a computer or a console is completely different. It's got no concept or nothing at all in relation to like a real game of football. You are going to start to see that. I mean, already we have world championships at Street Fighter. I don't know, Street Fighter 6, 7. Don't know what we're up to now. These are still massive. There's professional video game players. You're going to get football, FIFA, whatever it is. You're going to get that, and it's interesting. You know, I still enjoy watching friends playing video games and all that kind of stuff. And why wouldn't it be? I mean, to kind of take it back a step, 20 or 30 people watch me playing games every Sunday. Not even particularly well. God, do you see that big bit of ice? So that proves the fact that people like seeing people playing video games. So when you get to a stage where you've got two really, really competent and prolific players, whether it's a game of football, whether it's Street Fighter, whether it's a wrestling game, a boxing game, I don't know, then people are going to want to watch that. Is it going to take over from real life? No, it's not. I don't believe it will. Maybe in 100 years' time, when we're all living little capsules and we get our food sent down the internet to us and we never leave the house, maybe then virtual sports will become the only sport that we can get. But I think it is. Just talking about boxing games, I keep using the word hankering. I had a desire to play. What was I watching? I can't remember. I went down that rabbit hole of watching random videos, and there was one. It was Muhammad Ali versus, I can't remember who it was. And I thought, oh, you know what? I would love to play a good boxing game. There's none. The last boxing game I can remember coming out would be, there was a Fight Night series on it'd be the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 by, what do you call them, EA Sports. Why have boxing games disappeared, or are they still there and I've just not noticed it? Weird. Really, really weird. I don't know why that is. I do like a proper boxing game. A few of my mates, a guy Mick, I don't know Mick, I know you do comment on my Facebook. I don't know if you watch my channel. Mick, if you're out there, please say hello. Mick used to, him and a couple other guys used to play Fight Night online, and brilliant. It's the same with tennis games. We need the definitive tennis game. What is the definitive tennis game? I don't think Virtua Tennis has ever been beaten for playability. The thing I can't be arsed with tennis games is they insist on having these, the career. I don't mind having a career mode, but they insist on you playing these ridiculous training games where you've got to burst balloons or hit down skittles or whatever. Come on, it's not real life. Just let us play tennis. But yeah, is there a modern tennis game worth playing on like the Xbox 360? Not 360. I know there is on the Xbox 360. But is there a modern game that we can play? But yeah, boxing games. Don't know why they've never appeared. Strange. Anyway, I think that's. I've managed to get 35 minutes out of this, which is pretty good. So I'm going to get going. Look at the lacky snow. I'm now approaching Stenhouse Muir. you turn right, you go to Larbert. That's where we crushed the English. Yeah. William Wallace. Freedom. Yeah. So I'm on holiday. I'm away tomorrow. I don't get back until the 16th, which is the Thursday. So you'll get a waffle on the 17th. Yeah, there'll obviously be no live stream on Sunday because I'm not there. Like I says, if I can get a couple of videos done tonight, then that's fantastic. If not, you'll just have to watch other channels. So anyway, folks, listen. Again, please let me know how the experience is with adverts. It was interesting because I did a live stream a couple of nights ago, and we were talking about one very, very generous person who gave me quite a substantial super chat. Yeah, which I'm not going to talk about anymore because I think I've talked about it to death. But where the hell is you? Jesus God, some folk can't drive. What the hell was I going to say there? Yeah, what was interesting was that video got something like 23% dislikes. It's funny because there are people out there who, if they're quite happy to watch people making videos for fuck all, but by God, if that person makes 1 penny from YouTube, they're like, ah, shite wanker, you know. Anyway, you know, if people watch my channel have that kind of attitude, you know, that they resent me for trying to get a few quid from Google, then, you know, they're not really the people that I'm interested in watching my channel, because, you know, we all, like any other creator, we all put a lot of hard work into doing this, you know, just to try and claw back a wee bit. So let me know. So anyway, folks, listen, I'm going to get going. I hope you all have a nice weekend when it comes, and I will see you on the other side. Till next time, folks, as always, thank you very much for watching.